In 2013, the Chinese president Xi Jinping announced a new economic plan for large parts of the world. Money would flow from China out to a bunch of different countries to, quote, enhance regional connectivity and embrace a brighter future. So now, 7 years later, how does that future look? Well, in this video, we will talk about what the Belt and Road Initiative is and how exactly it affects everyone in today's world. Alright, so in 2013, President Xi of China traveled to Indonesia to announce his new Belt and Road Initiative. The initiative is China's ambitious plan to connect with the rest of the world on a massive scale. The belt consists of railways from Beijing to South and Central Asia and onward to Europe. The maritime road connects coastal cities in China to Africa and the Mediterranean. After just a few years, 68 countries and organizations signed deals with China. That number is now up to 80 countries, with more waiting to enter agreements. Their main physical projects involve a 12,000-kilometer railroad spanning from Yiwu in China, going up into Russia, through Europe, all the way up to London, England. It also involves a highway from China to the port city of Gwadar in Pakistan, and a pipeline going from Turkmenistan all the way to China, providing China with natural gas. So people in favor of the Belt and Road Initiative argue that it will provide economic growth in China, Southeast Asia, and all the way to Africa and Europe. While people against it argue that China will simply become too powerful with their expanding influence. And since I'm in the second part of that group, we will now take a look at the consequences of China's successful economic takeover. Alright, so the Chinese government released the official mission statement of the BAR initiative, the Belt and Road Initiative. Let's read from here. The initiative aims to promote orderly and free flow of economic factors, highly efficient allocation of resources, and deep integration of markets by enhancing connectivity of Asian, European, and African continents and their adjacent seas. It is open to all countries and international and regional organizations for engagement and honors mutual respect and market operation to seek common prosperity, the plan said. So this was back in 2015, and now the project involves countries from all over the world. So far, more than 80 countries have joined in projects. Now that's what I call lightning fast growth. Now I already made a few videos about how China slowly but surely is taking over the world, and I suggest you go watch those as they give an in-depth view of the different countries and different continents. But the general problem here is that they are doing it incrementally. There are no big shifts in movements, so no one's really paying that much attention to it. Also, at the same time, at least on the surface, the things that they're doing is legal so far. But just because it's legal doesn't mean that we shouldn't be worried about it. China is increasing its naval military presence in and around the South China Sea, but also way out into the Pacific Ocean. Also to the north along Russia, and even going out into the Arctic Sea above Europe. And how they're generally doing this is that they're creating civilian projects. But those civilian projects needs protection, so the Chinese government is in that way paving the way for a military presence in all of the same areas where they have civilian projects. However, their real power comes from the economic takeover of vast areas. Country after country in Africa are falling into debt with China without anyone talking about it. Europe is slowly adopting the 5G Chinese-run network, and Hollywood can barely make a movie these days without getting a green light acceptance from China. So you might wonder, how are all of these projects funded? Where does the money come from? Here is the important part. The action plan came 3 days ahead of the deadline of the application for joining the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, a China-initiated lender to offer financing for regional infrastructure projects. So in 2015, China established the AIIB Bank to be the foundation for all future projects. So the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank is the bank now responsible for all projects and all future projects of the BAR initiative. And what's the main focus of this bank? It is to have a borrowing strategy and debt issuance program. So like most other banks, this bank is lending out money to projects that need it, but the main focus of the bank is also to buy up debt of countries and organizations. And this is, by the way, how China now owns a lot of debt in different countries. They buy up debts from countries, and when these countries can't pay back the loans, the Chinese government will take over land or infrastructure within that country, effectively owning part of it. So what's slightly scary about this is how China is taking over different countries. Now they use this bank to deploy the same strategy. I took a look at the last 100 projects that the bank funded from 2017 to 2020. Out of those 100 projects, only 4 were in China. This is a bank owned by China, specifically created to take over infrastructure and loan out money to foreign countries and organizations. Right now, the main stockholder of this bank is China by only 31%, but don't be fooled, China owns this bank. So to demonstrate this, let's take a quick look into the deal that other countries owning part of the bank have. So even Denmark, my beloved country, now owns a part of this bank and is part of the deal. What's interesting is that Denmark has the same deal that the other countries that I looked into at least have. And the deal involves that whatever part you own of the bank, 80% is callable. Callable in shares means that whoever owns the company, which in this case is China, can call back 80% of whatever anyone else owns of your company. That means that at any point in time, China can snap their fingers and own 80% of this bank again. And once they've gained enough influence and enough countries and organizations depend on them, you can be sure that that's exactly what they're going to do. Look, what's really scary about this is that this is part of a 40-year plan that China has deployed. And it's not only working, it's accelerating. The fear is that China will be in control of too much before anyone can actually stop them. And with the success that they're enjoying, why would they actually stop? Alright guys, remember to subscribe to my channel if you liked the video and comment in the comment section below with your thoughts and I'll make sure to reply to you. Thank you so much for watching my full video and have a great day.